Overall, this was a pretty action-packed chapter, but man, the part with Usopp and his pessimism and negativity had me rolling, man, just rolling.
One Piece, chapter 461, Ghost Buster.
Well, hello, my brothers and sisters of the Nerd Nation. I, as always, am Jim, and I'm here to bring you another review on the awesome and excellently woven and extremely Usopp-filled negativity tale of One Piece. Our last chapter, of course, saw us with the crew splitting up, and then the Luffy, Oars, Berserker Giant dropping in, destroying the bridge, separating the crew into a different mismatch, or different matchups than they actually wanted. And that's where things wound up leaving off. So things wind up picking up over here. Luffy is back awake, and he, Chopper, and Robin were obviously left at the top portion before the bridge was broken through by Oars. And the bottom portion is the rest of the crew now. It's Usopp, it's Sanji, it's Frankie, and it's Zoro. So anyway, they think that initially that Oars is going to come after them, and this Berserker Luffy controlled Oars or whatever was just, you didn't even notice him, was more interested in ripping a piece of the building off and placing it on his head that looked similar to a pirate hat, and then kind of just went off on his own. And, you know, they wind up talking about how that's dangerous. It's like Luffy, the way he talks in his mind with, like, his fighting abilities, and, of course, in this giant, crazed, demon-like berserker. So, we wind up going and seeing the three that are at the top, I guess you would say, towards the top of it, in Masked Mansion, as it's called, the little House of Horrors. And as they go in, Chopper and Robin and Luffy wind up coming across Dr. Hogback. Chopper is extremely pissed off at him because this was somebody that he idolized. This was somebody that he really liked, and Chopper is a very emotional character, so you know, you cross him and he is not going to be too happy with you. So he winds up going and saying, I'm going to take care of this dude, you go ahead and go on, right? And then they wind up putting a couple of zombie generals, or a couple of zombies, I think that that Hogback was put in charge of, are going to, we presume, come after, you know, everybody else. And Sindri goes and starts tossing plates. Robin goes and starts to take care of her and says, Luffy, you go on ahead, because Luffy has got the blinders on. He needs to go beat up Gecko Moria and get their shadows back. Plain and simple. So he takes off and goes running into the freezer. His portion of the chapter winds up ending when he actually runs into and catches up with Gecko Moria. He calls him the giant onion that he's going to beat up, and we know that it's certainly not going to be that easy, but he kind of shows up and is like, hey, what's going on? You know, and Gecko Moria is like, yo, what's up? And then that's how their portion of the chapter ends. The majority of the chapter takes place in the lower part, where obviously Sanji and Usopp had fallen through and fallen down to, and now, against their will, have been reunited with Zoro and Frankie. So anyway, they wind up going and talking about how are we going to get through, the bridge has been destroyed, this and that, and like they turn around and literally Frankie has gone and built a makeshift bridge. So Frankie is certainly proving his worth and his usefulness already very early on into his career as a Straw Hat. They go across the bridge and get into the lower part of Masked Mansion, and we wind up going and seeing them go and come upon Ghost Princess Perona's room. Now we know that she commands the negative ghost. She calls the negative hollows. That's her power, and basically she has the hollow fruit and devil fruit, and that power allows her to command these ghosts that can basically just take away all your will and desire to live, right? And it's funny because she goes and she sends them after everybody, and everybody's like, run, you know, and everybody gets nailed until all of a sudden she thinks she's going to capture everybody and take their shadows and this and that, the ones that don't have, or that haven't had their shadows taken away yet. And all of a sudden Usopp comes out and he's boom, and he fires one of his salt lead star, or his salt bag things basically that he came up with to take out some of the zombies in the area. And she's like, what the hell? He just pretended to get hit? So she goes and nails him again with the negative hollows, right? And no effect. And she's like, well, how come it has no effect on you? How are you able to combat my power? And Usopp's like, and I love this, Usopp, it's a great one-page panel of him just as his face, and he's just like, I'm already negative. If you think about it, Usopp's already the gloom and doomsayer of the group, right? Oh my god, this is going to happen. I mean, before they even pull up to an island, he's scared of what's going to happen. He's thinking of all the negatives that may happen, right? So she's like, damn it, this has never happened before. Perona's pissed because she's like, you know, humans, by their natural disposition is to be positive, right? So Usopp goes and tells everybody, hey, come on, get up, guys. You guys go on ahead and see if you can save Nami. I'll take care of her. You're not going to be of any use anyway. But take care of all these zombies and stuff on your way out, right? So then we go, and the end of the chapter winds up taking us over to the farce of a wedding that's being set up, or that has been set up, between Absalom and, of course, Absalom the Perv and Nami, our hottie, our resident hottie navigator, Straw Hat crew member. So Nami is apparently knocked out or in some kind of trance-type state, because she's there, she's in a dress, but she's not coherent, she's not conscious that we know of. So they're doing the vows, and they're saying, oh, do you, Nami, take Absalom to be your... Yes, I do. And there's a zombie next to her moving her mouth and kind of, ventriloquisting for her, just going placing the words in her mouth. And that's how the chapter winds up ending up. I now pronounce you, man and wife type thing, or husband and wife, and you may now kiss the bride, right? And that's how the chapter winds up ending off with with Absalom and his just nasty perv-looking face over there, about to go and kiss our lovely little Nami. So, anyways, that's how the chapter wraps up over here. And my chapter question for you, brothers and sisters, is ultimately, out of the two scaredy cat characters, so I would say Chopper and Usopp, which one is your favorite and why? Leave your answer to that question in the comments down below. Feel free to hit the thumbs up, the like button if you should think that I deserve it, and subscribe if you haven't done so already. We will look forward to catching all of you in the next one, Nation.
Follow me on Facebook and Twitter and check out my other channels, and as always, thanks for watching.